I think my main asset is the fact that I didn't have any limitations, you see. I could do anything.
Milt Kahl lives on an ocean bay north of San Francisco. His rich life got off to a humble start.
My parents were terribly poor. My father was, I think had a little talent, but was not an educated man the least bit. And the Disney productions made The Three Little Pigs. That just really captivated me, and I just loved the medium, you know. I'm not one of these people who draws compulsively or anything. I don't draw unless I have to. So I actually don't really enjoy it. I don't mind it, but you know, my kicks. I got my kicks at the studio from putting a performance on the screen. My drawings were always quite explicit and clean anyway. You know, I didn't have an awful lot of extraneous lines. You know, so they'd look something like that. Yeah.
Could you turn that around the same way you did so we can get that?
Mm-hmm. I did one voice. I did the voice of Ferdinand the Bull when he was. There's only one line in the picture when he's a little bull, you know.
What was the line? Do you remember?
Yeah, Walt. In fact, I think Walt did his mother. She said, "Ferdinand, why don't you go out and play with all the other little bulls and butt your head?" And he said,
"I like it better here."
I can't do the voice anymore.
Where I can just sit quietly and smell the flowers.
Anyway.
Everybody says it anyhow, that Milt Kahl is the best animator there ever was.
Well, that's nice. I like to hear that. But, I think that you'd get quite a bit of dissension about that. You know, everybody, all these guys, they're like actors. You know, they all have their ego, and I think they all think they're the best. You know, and I'm no exception.
But you had some relatively famous or well-known run-ins with Walt.
Oh yes, yeah. He used to say things like, he'd say, "Damn it," he said, "you're getting too big for your britches." He said, maybe, have you ever thought maybe you'd like to be running this place, huh?" You know, that was one of his. That was a good one. You know, Walt himself was pretty young then too. You know, there were a great many gags pulled. I don't remember who it was for sure, but who he had a little pet turtle. And he got some special turtle food for it, and these guys would switch turtles on him. They began they began putting a little bit bigger turtle, you know, every week or every few days, you know, and this thing was growing to beat hell, you know, and he just couldn't get over this, and all of a sudden they started reversing the process. Animator is you have to be part actor, part director, part storyman. You know, you have to have a very good feeling for entertainment. What's entertainment and what isn't, you know, and so you're kind of a jack of all trades. As far you really are. The thing is, you're not limited by your sex or by your weight or anything. You can do anything. With a character like that, and then also characters that like pretty girls, like Cinderella. Sleeping Beauty, you know, and the damn Prince, you know. This is gee, what a. Now I got stuck with a Prince on Sleeping Beauty, you know, and what a onerous task, you know. It's just a terrible thing, you know, to have to do that, and but I did it. If you use live action for reference. Actually, truly, just for reference, that's great. I did this with Jungle Book. The way to use it, I think, is to learn so much about it that you don't have to use the reference anymore. I've had people say that I made them so nervous they couldn't work and all that stuff, you know. You know, kind of picking at them all the time.
Well, you just had high standards that not a lot of people could meet.
Sure, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Well, it's not only
And
that.
you might as well, geez, if you don't have something to aspire to, or what have you got? You know, you have to have high standards. I think that's part of I think that's part of any profession. You have to. God, if you don't aim high, well, you're not going to get anywhere. You know. But drawing, you asked me about drawing. Drawing is very essential. You know, I don't think it's possible to be a top-notch animator without being a very excellent draftsman. I don't think you can. You know.
What about live action reference in general, though? How was that?
I think if you're going to use human characters, I think it's necessary, and I don't approve of it, but still it depends. If everybody on the picture was a Milt Kahl, well, then they wouldn't be necessary. It wouldn't be necessary to use live action reference, but unfortunately they aren't, and it is necessary. And I would have loved to have done Captain Hook, you know, but I got stuck with Peter himself and Wendy and John and Michael, you know, and all these people. And I think it's you know, if you wanted to flatter yourself, you could say, well, those characters are a little hard to do, you know, and they're straighter and they take a better draftsman, that sort of thing, but that isn't so. I think it's because I was outmaneuvered, and people kind of, you know, they kind of work around, and all of a sudden you find out that Captain Hook's already assigned, see, you know, and guess what you're going to do, Milt? You're going to do Peter and Wendy. So that's what happens. You have to accept these things. You have to accept them and do the best you can with them, you know. And you figure that you're always going to have characters in the picture that are entertaining, you know. So it doesn't hurt to have your straight jobs once in a while. Isn't it funny? I had meant to do kind of a little different kind of a drawing here, and I got going on this before I realized that I was doing it this way.
What's the most valued thing you've gotten out of your career at Disney?
Gee, I don't know. God Almighty, that's a hard one. I don't think I think I've gotten the satisfaction whenever something turned out well and I had a good performance on it. I think that's about it. I can't say that. And also, the other thing was that I think it was a great privilege to know Walt all those years, because he was a very great man. Where's that favorite? Oh, that's too damn dark.